People of Reddit, what items have you kept from childhood until now? I still have a My Batman action figure. No idea what it's called, but he's like a bluish green. Almost looks like Batman Beyond, but got this toy in the 90s long before Batman Beyond was even a thing. He was always the main character, and I'd tell myself multi-year long stories dramas with my action figures. I named him Blade though. This was before the Blade movies came out, and I knew nothing of the actual Blade at the time because I was into DC Comics. I also have a toy Terminator arm. Like you wear it in it and makes random sounds. It doesn't fit anymore. Nothing. I always go by the rule if I don't use it for a year. It can go. The only exceptions are my spare tire and the fire extinguisher. The first time, for example, it felt like such a relief to get rid of stuff like old photo albums, study books from high school, clothes I didn't even like anymore, that collection you don't even care about anymore. ... Oddly none. My mum is a minimalist and she taught me to be one as well. So every 6 months or so we'd go through my toys and I'd pick ones to donate. Usually toys I had not touched in a while. I'm the same as an adult. Some people say my house seems empty, but the idea of living with clutter scares me. It's much more peaceful the way I live, in my opinion. In my closet I have a memory box filled with cards, newspaper clippings, and other meaningful things from my childhood. As far as things I just haven't gotten rid of, I have a blanket still, some old Cubs jerseys I had in middle school, and the specific pad of graph paper. Probably some other random stuff that I ain't thinking of. I have a Lunch Ho 37 model car. My dad gave it to my uncle when my uncle was a kid, and he eventually passed it on to me. It's in an absolutely awful condition. The paint is peeling off, and some parts are only held on with tape. But he'll never restore it or throw it away. That model car sparked my interest in race cars. Not me, but my parents. They've had that metal coffee tin for as long as I can remember. So they must have bought it sometime in the 1970s. At that time, you could still buy your coffee in a tall metal tin if you wished to. Now, those are no longer made, but they still refill it and keep their coffee in it. My old Squire strap that I got for my 13th birthday that's covered in various late 90s, early 00s pop culture stickers. Played that thing at so many gigs through my high school years. I now have 6 guitars, but I always keep my old sticker strat at the front of the rack to remind me where it all started. I have the teddy bear that was gifted to me by one of my mum's close friends a day or two after I was born. He's bright pink and named George. He and I are both 46 and he's still in really great condition. I took him everywhere with me, and hopefully, if I ever have grandchildren, I can pass him on. A letter to myself. It was some school activity that you were supposed to write to your future self when you graduate 3 years later. Little did I know that 10 years later, I still read it and feel so proud at myself for knowing those activity are a little forced and cringy. Shotguns from a boy who'd spent hunting, books, and a now fairly valuable early 20th century tobacco advertising sign I found in an abandoned mine building on a climbing trip in the Yukon when I was 16. I'm now 64. Edit. I've a knapsack my dad bought me when I was about 10. I'm 56 now. A train set. Some band t-shirts from my teenage years. No, they don't fit. Some 45 revolutions per minute singles. Ooh. A primer stove from the 50s. And my grandfather's watch. Dead stuffy, and a few dolls. I've got a couple things that my grandfather made for me, a table for my bitty teddy bear, and a wooden treasure chest, plus some doll blankets that my great-grandma sewed. I have my first stuffed animal ... But I have a long-sleeved Holly Davidson shirt that my uncle bought for me when we went to visit him in CO when I was 12. That still fits, and I still wear very regularly. I am 41 now. Nothing. In fact, I help people declutter and minimize, and I haven't seen anything good come out of saving stuff. It causes a great deal of mental or emotional blocks and angst, and it's quite freeing to throw stuff away. I have a cat puppet that my parents bought me about 1974. His name is Kitty because I was a small child at the time and had no imagination. He's traveled with me everywhere. I still say goodnight to him every day. My godmother gifted me a waffle-textured baby blanket with silk trim. I'm 33 and sleep with it every night. Recently gave birth to my daughter and found the same blanket for sale at Dillard's. Bought her one. 13 months old when my mum died in a car crash when we were coming home from the zoo. I've kept the stuffed mama and baby dolphin that she bought me from the souvenir shop minutes before all my life. My baby blanket. It's a small quilt my mum made. It lives in a closet now, but I slept with it most nights until I was in my late 20s. I took it out the other day, and it still smells the same. A laundry basket. It's the perfect size. I can't find another one I like as much, and I've tried. Now, I'm weirdly sentimental about a cheap laundry bakery my mum probably bought at Kmart. I lost all my belongings in Hurricane Sandy when I was 13. So nothing I do have a pic of my mom and dad from their honeymoon before they got divorced though. My grandma had it. Have a stuffed cow affectionately named Moo Moo which I stole from my mum on Mother's Day when I was 3. I took him to college with me. Don't tell my friends. Had an old Coca-Cola polar bear doll that I held onto since I was a kid and gave it to my little brother so he can give it to his daughters. He takes good care of it. I kept the things I played with most. For me it was a few Barbies, American Girl dolls, and a few other misc toys. The stuff I played with all the time. I still have all of my old comic books and manga. I have a nephew who might want them at some point. If not, I'll read them with my kids when I get them. When I was for my best friend moved back to New Zealand. Before she left she gave me a stuffed dog. To this day I still have said stuffed dog on my bed. I have a blanket that my aunt made me when I was a child. I don't know how old it is. I have had it for as long as I can remember. I am 48 now. My first stuffed animal was that of an octopus. I've had it since I was a baby. It is the one item I've always had throughout my entire life. I still have my teddy bear I was given when I was 7. His name is Bobby. He sleeps peacefully in my closet. He is 35 years old, a big at the time teddy bear when I was 5. 55 now, and the bear's still going strong. Also a slinky I got for my 12th day. My dollhouse and its furniture. My baby doll. A frisbee my dad made me, and my baby hospital shirt. I think that's it. My very tattered but loved puffer lump. My mum saved all of my baby blankets which I used for my son when he was a baby. Nothing. My brother threw all my childhood photos, school books, etc. in the bin, which is another reason I hate him. A box of crayons with only the black one left, because apparently I was preparing for my goth phase early on. A stuffed alpaca my brother got from winning in a debate contest. Still keep it but rarely touch it now. I have some Cindy furniture still in the box, and not seen the light of day or played with since the 1970s. I have a jumper that I got when I was 10. I'm almost 40 and still have it, and it still fits. Only thing I still have is my first stuffed animal. It'll probably be with me till death. My collection of Pokemon cards that I swore would make me rich one day. Still waiting. A green pocket knife I believe feds might have stolen. I can't find it. It's all I had. First 7-inch singles ball ages 10. Rapper's Delight Funky Town, a red Mr. Men radio. I have a teddy and a blanket that my great-grandmother made me when I was a baby. I have all my Dungeons and Dragons manuals and several Avalon Hill strategy games. I have a little teddy bear that I played with as a child. I got it from my mom. A doll-sized cradle my great-grandparents handmade for me when I was a toddler. I still have all my Transformers and a little plush panther from my childhood. I still have some Matchbox cars and Tootsie Toe cars from when I was a kid. I had a ring with a raptor on it, but I threw it away after my wife left me. A Mortal Kombat pork slammer from like 1996. It's followed me ever since. I keep all the Christmas ornaments. We got a new one every year as kids. Loads of records. In particular the Street Sounds electro albums. A wooden bowl that I made 45 years ago in 7th grade shop class. Sony WMX 615. Compact Armada 777. ODNT. Nothing else survived. My small pillow. It's always cold when I need to cuddle it.